Hi, my name is DJ Lou Paris, and this is a video on managing music in your library. So as a DJ and even in my personal life, I am a stickler on organization, and especially with music, be it my 45s, my CDs, even more 45s and 12s. If I don't know where it is, what good is it? So I've cultivated a system between whether it's BPMs with my 45s, alphabetical and chronological with my 12s and my CDs. I have to know where it is. And this is even more so with a digital collection. And yes, you can search and bring things up, but it's a lot easier when everything's properly tagged and organized. I've even created an article on this, but some people are still a little confused on how this practically works for me and how things are brought in. So this is what this video is going to talk about, how the organization from bringing it in to how it's sorted and all that, how it works for me and how it could work for you. All right, so here we're at my desktop. I've loaded up Serato DJ. I have Jacos Audio Tagger. This is my standard of tagging stuff before I bring it into Serato. On the bottom right, I have one of the event planners out there. Clients have already filled out the information, and right off the bat, I see for their introductions, they have 99 Problems by Hugo. I've double checked my library. I actually only have one song by Hugo, and it's not even the same Hugo at that point. It's Hugo Winterhaller. So I've downloaded 99 Problems from Amazon. Unfortunately, the only version that was out there was the explicit version. So I actually had to go through Adobe Audition. I've censored out the parts that needed to be censored. And now I'm actually going to bring this into Jacos. And one thing right off the bat, you see there's actually no ID3 tags in there. Even though it did come over through Amazon tagged properly, I did save this as a FLAC file so it wouldn't degrade anymore in compression. So the FLAC file does not have the tagging information. So we're going to actually test how good Jacos is in many cases. I'm going to have it search through the autocorrector. Is actually going to go out to Discogs and Music Brains, and as you see, it's actually already tagged everything pretty nicely. So it's got the title properly. I am going to put clean in here just to remind myself in the title of the song. Pull the artist right, pull the artist picture in, the album, the track, the genre, definitely bluegrass in this case, and so now I'm going to put in my specific information, which is my own personal sorting tag. It's an okay song, so I'm going to give it a personal 3. This is definitely a little bit more for cocktail and dinner. I'm going to rate this a 3 as well, and I'm going to put in CLN for clean, just so I know it. And the genre, I'm going to probably call this country. In this case, it could go rock. It could be either. So in grouping, I'm going to have bluegrass, which I already pulled in. I'm going to put rock in here too, just so it kind of bleeds over. If I happen to be looking for kind of a country rock type thing, it'll bring it in. That's everything else. It's got the year information correctly as well. I'm going to save it. And I am going to bring it into my library. Now note that within Jacos, you can tell it which directories to automatically deposit into. I also have a script in here that pulls the genre into the folder structure. So this way, when it says country, it's going to put it right into the country folder. It's now thrown it in there. And one of the last steps I do, I'll go ahead and bring country over into here, and voila. It's in there. I'll let it play for a little bit. It's now tagged and keyed it, and that's it. So now the big question is, how do I use this to kind of work with my workflow in a typical wedding? All right, so now I've magically transported myself into a gig. I'm, let's say, kicking off a dance segment. I haven't quite figured out what I might want to play yet. Let's say I see a whole bunch of an older crowd. Maybe they're in the 50s and 60s. And I want to get something that's going to be appealing across. Now, naturally, I can immediately jump to, say, September or maybe Jailhouse Rock, something like that. But if I'm not sure and I want to kind of float some ideas, I might start with, let's say the 50s or 60s tag, and I'm going to put in dance for dance, and let's say I want to hit something in the later 60s. So right off the bat, I could go Supreme, so I could go Aretha, I could go James Brown. I can keep on searching, Marvin Gaye. It definitely allows me a lot more latitude than just relying on my brain. Say, okay, let's go to the standards. Let's go to something disco-y. Let's go to something rocky. I can always add additional filters. So another perfect example: if I'm in the '70s and I want some dance disco, DNC for anything that's going to be danceable that works well. Disco could be in the grouping tag in here, so it might be some funk and disco, there might be some soul disco, but I could go Bee Gees. I could go a little bit more funky with Ohio Players or Hot Chocolate. I go real funky with George McRae with something a little bit more instrumental. It gives me a lot of different options. I could go with just what's in my mind and just play kind of the standards. What I really like to do is to throw something unexpected, and having these types of categories really assists me in doing so. And I've also put in some things, and normally I'll remember this, but let's say I want to transition from something more in the 70s into the 90s or 2000s or even current, but I want to do it something sample styled, so I can easily just back out of things, go sample. And in here, I've put in both the songs that got sampled or the songs that sampled something. So I know that Tramp was sampled by Salt and Pepper, and I can just scroll over here. It was also done up by Cypress Hill and some others. So it gives me a lot more latitude, again, to transition between sets, transitions between genres and decades and styles. It just definitely assists me, especially in the moment. Sometimes you're sweating an idea or whatnot, and it's absolutely great to have this information already tagged in there and then to work off of that. So that's the video, and if you enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button or like it, share it, do whatever social media is telling you to do right now. I'm DJ Lou. Have a great day.